bavuddeyo n'ebirowoozo ebipya bye ndowooza nti bijja kwongera okutuyamba okunyweza omupiira. Naye era nga tunakutuuka mu Tabamirukooli bwe tunaatuula tujja kusooka tuwe omukisa badelegates abava mu Western Region batuule ne president waffe omupiira era babeeko bye boogera bye bayinza okwongera okukkaanyaako. Naye ng'omupiira mu Western Region tugwenyumirizaamu nnyo era twagala bongeremu bongeza amaanyi okulaba nti omupiira gwaffe gwongera ogenda mu maaso. Premier League ne Big League bali bulungi naye Third Region bakyalina obuzibu mu kusasulwa kwabwe. Ebyo byonna tugenda kwongera okubikubaganyaako ebirowoozo waawe tuyinza okukwatako waawe tuyinza nabo okukwatako. Era basabye wano kyandibadde kikulu ebitongole ebinoonya ensimbi babinyweze. Buli region ebeere n'ekitongole ekinoonya ensimbi abakitunzi kubanga abantu bangi abagala tuteekamu omupiira bwe tuba n'embalala nga city kitegeeza nti tusobola okubaako n'ebintu ebirala bingi tusobola okukola wano mu mbalala ng'omupiira. Yo gavumenti egenda kwongera okuteekamu ssente. FUFU eyogerezeganya ne gavumenti ekisaawe kyekakyeka kirongera okuddaabirizibwa n'ebirala. Naye ng'ebyo bikolebwa nabo twagala banoonye abayinza okwongera ssente mu mupiira gwo.
However, when I came here with the president the other time, we also took an initiative to have a similar discussion with the radios here. I have a good friend here called Kafuko, the one of Vision, Kafoko, because I know him, we politically believe in the same ideology. And we have the same idea because they are telling me with the sports here, it's like a Vision is number one when it comes to sports. You want the younger people entertainment, you go to cruise. You want what? So they were telling this story. So we are in negotiations with some radios, particularly for Tutegero Mupira, so that we can link up with other stations for that particular program. Now that I've even heard it from members here, we shall try to work on that, to improve on the speed in that area. I'll talk to the president about it. Dismissal of clubs, we don't even need research. We have done enough research. By the time we dismiss you, you are bad. As a FUFA, we are yearning to see more football being played. More. By the time a decision is taken by a region, by FUFA, that this club should be dismissed, then you know that club has issues. And where people don't believe, we even allow them to go and appeal. For instance, Chetume appealed. They went to the appeals committee. And the appeal still believed in the position of the club licensing committee. So you can appeal, you can do what, but the research, we don't need money to do that research. We always have the research. The prize money, yes. A competition is a competition. Why do you want the winner to take almost the same amount with you who is the bottom placed on the table? The reason why we are giving you very little is for you to compete for the big amount. And now you have seen in our league, they are no longer giants. This year I'm telling you, you will see. The winner will be decided on the last minute, the way it was last season. We had 4 matches, and the winners in those 4 matches could all be champions. Villa was waiting, Kitala was waiting, I think Vipers was waiting, Nek was waiting, Nek was the one playing, Bull was waiting. Now the champion Villa want to defend the title. Vipers, they can start struggling, but they can also win the title. KCCA is not a joke. URA, they are telling us we are here, this time very serious. Bull, they are not a joke. Express, they are saying we lost 3-0 to Vipers, 3-1. But they are better off playing in Nachivo than they were in Wankurukuku. So it's going to be Kitala, don't underrate Kitala. So these things have made the league very competitive. The king of the league, the winner, must be big, and he should take a bigger sum of money. And if we improve, because I'm not here to sugarcoat words, if we are to improve, we improve top to bottom. If we get more money, we shall give the champion more money, and this one. If this one comes to $1 million, then the other one goes to 120. A winner must be a winner. Because what we were doing before, the president had a very good idea, and the clubs in the Premier League objected to this. We are saying if a club wins the Premier League of Uganda and that one that wins the Uganda Cup, we pay for their tickets as they go to represent us in the CAF Confederation and the CAF competitions till they are exited. And then the other clubs were saying, what about us who cannot go? And then I was asking myself, if you can't get there and you think you can never bw'okkirizaganyiza ne Katonda toli wangula liigi bw'okyakola kiwano ne bagamba let's remove that, and we said okay, we removed it. Now the prize money is what we want to look at. The speaker ndugu Katwesije of Nyaruguru FC. Yes, but as if you are the speaker of Rubirizi, right? Yes, and on the NRM ticket? Yes, okay, I congratulate you. Now, those concerns you have mentioned, me, I have picked them. I may even not need to respond to them, but at least I have them and I will have to present them. Michael, funding of DFAs. Hey. FUFU fund offices with okay, we have, you see, DFAs are members of the regions. Okay, the regions are members of FUFU, but football development cannot start in the middle. It starts from the grassroots. Our dream is, if our resource envelope gets better, we shall continue funding everybody. But as the FUFU works hard to look for money, we should also be working hard. I have put a new requirement in the club licensing that for you to play in our Premier League, you must have a marketing officer, somebody who markets your club, to look out for money. In Luwero, in DFA, and in Nakaseke, my neighbors, we have secured some sponsors for the DFA leagues. And we're almost concluding Sugar, the Victoria Sugar and the others. In our areas where we are, there could be potential companies that can give us some little money. It may not be too much money. Some politicians go to Buyikwe in Uganda. Honorable, this Minister for General Duties in the office of the Vice President, that lady, very beautiful lady. Who is this one? You men, you must know our minister. Oh, in Buyikwe, it's the woman MP for Buyikwe. But it's the Minister General Duties Office of the Vice President. She looks like a Ankole lady. Now, that lady gives the DFA 10 million per season. And when the president was here, he told you if they are politicians, no matter where they belong, okay, their political affiliation, and they are supporting football, tell us, we shall give them the support also. We shall even advertise them on our TVs, on our radios, because they are supporting football. The politics can come later. Diana Mtasingwa, yes, Diana Mtasingwa, 10 million. What are our MPs doing? And you are the same people that give them the votes. Task them also. Instead of putting the whole load on FUFU, keep tasking these politicians to give us money. The younger people, just imagine in Mbarara alone, we have how many clubs at DFA? Let's say 10. If each of them registers 25 people, those are 250. And majority of those players are voters. 250. Now, add on another 150 as officials. And they are all voters. I don't want to talk politics here, but we need these people to give us money. I would be happy when somebody stands and says, Mwana, if you are not supporting us, we are not also supporting you. Those who support football, then we shall be attracting more people into supporting our football. But we are not seated. What we have done with IT, for instance, the other time we put somebody at the region to help you enter your data. I don't know whether, do you have that person now? But I think we are supposed to be contracting somebody to be coming and helps you. The Kazoras are there, they are helping us a lot, they are doing a lot of work. But in the future, we are considering a permanent person within our structure. And we are now in the process as a FUFU to review the secretariat structure for our workers. Actually, we're almost concluding that. And we have created some new positions to ease the work. So the issue of those ads on TV still stands. If somebody is sponsoring you and you let us know and there is proof, it still stands. Girls football, I don't talk about the girls football, just like I didn't talk of many things. If I was talk about everything, me I'm paid in NRM because I talk. It's what they pay me for. So I can talk, but I didn't cover everything. But women football, you know, we have secured a sponsor at the top. By the time Honorable Ngina Moses Magoko became a FUFU president, we only have a national team for women, but we didn't have women football at the grassroots. We opened up last elections and we said, go and look for any woman who has interest in football. And he comes. Isn't that what you did? Yes, because we want to have, as we play football, girls football, we also need to see women in football positions. And even the president said, my executive, at least 3 must be women. I think at least 2. Because we have Ojiti Wanachuwala and we also have Madame Mugena from Eastern. And we may continue having even more women. So we are interested in women football and we shall continue giving it more support. The referees, 3 years too long. Yes, it is too long. But the issue is the resource envelope. What do we do? And we have promised. You see, the DFA is down. They pay for their referees. Is that true? Yes. We have said the DFAs are also complaining, but we promised the regions. But the DFAs are paying. In some areas, you'll see a club that hosts, in some districts, foots the bill for the referees. And my question was, now the club hosting is the one paying the referees. Okay. What are likely results there? But they are meeting the bills. So the regions, you don't worry. When we have the money, we shall do that. We shall come to that. In Famako 1, we give basic information about FUFU and Ugandan football. We even take you through what we have done. In Uganda, when I talked about Kadiva, as a country, people didn't even know a federation can construct a stadium. When we see Honorable Magogo fighting in parliament, even the MP here, Mpaka, could go to him to help him lobby. So that Kacheka is among those. I think already 1.5 billion has been sent to Kacheka, according to information. These things don't just come. When you see us looking at the national laws, doing this and that, they don't just come. When you see us bringing these courses, women football do this, and they don't just come. So there are quite a number of things that we have done for Ugandan football, not only Western, but the whole country. There are many. So it's not a term of disappointment. How can we say it's a term of disappointment when AFCON is coming to Uganda the first time? How can it be a term of disappointment when Chan is coming to Uganda the first time? How can it be a term of disappointment when Nambole is now being used even by other African countries? How can it be a time of disappointment when Kadiva is there almost getting ready? Construction is there, in Hoima is going on. How can it be a time of disappointment when we have expanded the FUFU infrastructure? The buildings, that was only one, we put another layer and added 2 more. A time of disappointment where you have a FUFU TV and a FUFU radio. A time of disappointment where our budget moves from 4 billion to 40 billion. A time of disappointment from 6 working staff at the Secretariat to 60. What a disappointing term. Is that a disappointing term really? No. So these things are there. But I don't blame my brother from Kanungu. When he AFCON 2 times. And we are now working. I told you how we beat South Africa. The CAF seeded that group on South Africa as number 1. But went there and proved them that we are not a weak side. So we are strong, and a lot is being doing in Uganda. So we are proud of our leadership, and together with you, we have been able to achieve this. It's not a one-man show. When we are talking of this, we are saying everybody who is participating in football is part of the achievement. If there are challenges, then we share them. So qualifying for World Cup, yes, your dream is good. Actually, our dream was that we go to AFCON 2026. That's what we had in our mind. Then FIFA come and say, Nambole does not qualify to host our matches. And now you start playing from outside. But now that these things have been worked on, and even the number of countries participating, the numbers have also gone up, you never know. We never know. When I tell your child in primary, I want you to get a 4. When he gets a 7, don't cane him. Even Interior admits those of 11 aggregates and 13. You say, yes, you have done some good work. So where we are, Ndugu, we are somewhere. Wanaka Agaba of Kabale DFA, can we have Famako specially organized? These things are possible. You see, there are things that come to all of us, but they can also specific requests. And then you come through our executive member here. And then you see how you can present some of these things. The chairman, the executive member, and you sit down. The president can make a donation. He can. And says, okay, if that is the issue there, I can do this. So don't sit on it. You can forward it when the members come to meet the president in that meeting before the annual general assembly. I know, you see Mr. Kalibala here recruited our FUFU president into football. Don't think anybody can be a honorary executive member of FUFU. Temuomingira hapo kifo echo. Before bino bili na attachment that Moses Sali will remain in the government as long as the president is also the president. Katinga kugamba nange nshagala. But when he talks to the president and says there is this issue here, the president will listen. If there was a document ready, I would have gone with it. But since it is still a proposal, I'll put it in my report to him, and then we shall see. Bwana Kakoza, yes, Chairman, Referees Committee, I think Western Region. The Janzi, okay, it was also about the referees for third and lower divisions courses, but he talked about the co-funding. Co-funding is a very brilliant idea. You know, when you open up, in Ruel I offered courses, free courses to people. And I could train 45 in coaching. 3 years later, I don't see them. Then I noticed I was giving them free courses. Then I said, okay, 150 per course? Yes. If you have 50, I give you 100. Now I have started tracing them. They are there. Because they also put in their what? Nebiri balowooza byabwerere omusajja w'enaala emwoyo omusajja wa FUFU alina ssente alabika yagaana kwesimbawo biki nga they don't value. So the co-funding is a very good idea I have picked. So Mukulu Jeremiah, when a player is a free agent, is free. However, there are scenarios where people meet and agree. And they say, as much as this player has been a free agent, he's a free agent now, but was playing for you. Fetumukumye season, wotukidde mulabira nti musambi muki? Mulungi. You can agree. But by law, or by our statutes, a free agent is free. That player is free to move at no cost. Now, a token of appreciation, take to us court. Somebody can also choose to do that. Unless that player still has obligations with the club. And when he has obligations, then he cannot be a free agent. What we are now encouraging those details must be properly indicated. Some players give us wrong names. Instead of Mulindwa Rogers, somebody tells you I'm Mulindwa Lawrence. And because the names sound almost the same, the PPF and the PFF, you heard those stories. Now, somebody may not care. I might say, when it turns to the national ID, things are very different. And when during the presidential tour, we discovered that there were people playing, even in Western region, that had not gone into our system. Abamu under people's names, abalala totally with no document in some districts. It was common in Mbale, eriyo kyali was. Obasambira ddala without licenses. Nebagamba kati ono bwawangula league mugenda mugamba muti. But we know how to manage. You know how to manage. Terrible. So members, I want to thank you that the region is doing some good work. In football, we cannot avoid having issues. The challenges must be there. It's just part of the game. But I want to thank you at a bigger picture, that you are still focused, you still have interest in football, and you are working for football. If only we can improve on that, then we shall be ready to go. Chairperson, I want to thank you. Leading a region is not easy. I also come from a region. I own a club, just like you own clubs. I know what happens when you are in a leadership position. There will always be issues from those you lead and even those you sit with to lead the others. The issues will always be there. But what is very important is when you agree, sit on a round table, and you find a solution for your problems. So I want to thank you with your executive that you are doing that good work for us. Mr. Frank Nkunzile would have been here with us, but the president assigned him a responsibility to go to Kampala and attend a similar assembly of the Uganda Youth Football Association. Is basically to get feedback from here as we prepare for the annual General Assembly of FUFU, which will be held in the Central Region in Uganda in October. You are aware that every time before we go for that annual General Assembly, the president has to meet regions. But the regional meetings with the delegates will last for about an hour or so. But there could be many other issues that you people have, and you would like to bring the attention of the FUFU president and his executive. Therefore, when we come here, it's an opportunity that we take stock, we take record of those messages, those concerns, and we go back, brief our principal, the FUFU president, and then a solution is found, so that a feedback is again communicated back through the delegates when they come for the assembly. So I will be waiting to hear those comments from you. Where I can give a reaction, I will. Where I can't, I will carry it to the principal. I want to thank you that you received the president very well. I was here with him. I want to thank those who come from Chigezi. When we went to Kabale, you gave us a very good reception, and when we came to Ankole in Mbarara, you received us very well. Thank you very much. The tour has continued. We are now left with Sebei and Karamoja. Those districts there of Boko, Kapchorwa, and Queen, the Sebei, and then the other districts of Karamoja, but we shall still find time to go there before we get into the assembly. For everybody that is holding a club, those in the DFAs that may not be here, please, thank you so much. Thank you so much. As I said, owning a club is not very easy. We have people that can make some noise here and there, but when you tell them to own a club and run it for a season, they may either choose to run the club or to lose the families, because you may not even find salt for your people or sugar. Football has a lot to do with sacrifice. So those who have clubs, please, and you are managing them, and you have been in this field for some time, thank you very much, and please maintain. If I were you, I would have clapped for our souls. I want you to insist on the regulations. The football regulations are very key. You know, when you follow the regulations, you don't even need to talk much. My 9-year-old daughter one time was asking me, how comes the winner in a football match gets 3 points, and when you draw, you don't get 1.5? And my explanation to her was, the regulation says, when you win, you get 3. When you lose, you get 1. Well, I mean, when you draw, you get 1. Full stop, because it's a regulation, unless it's amended. Some of these issues that disturb you, and not only in the Western region here, is because people don't want to read the regulations that govern our game. If we can read and we understand them and apply them, then we shall be having less issues. Somebody has not done this. What does the regulation say? The regulation says it is, full stop. When I was in Uganda, because I oversee club licensing in this country on behalf of FUFU, which is chaired by Mr. Ankole. And there was an incident with, what is this team? The one we sent out of the Premier League. No, the one in Uganda is the other season. In the Mukono, it's actually that side of Mukono. Okay, the name is running out of my head. So somebody was telling me, but Mr. Mulindwa, you come from Uganda. How can you deny this club an opportunity to play in the Star Times Uganda Premier League? And I said, it's not about where I come from. Chetum. Actually, it is Chetum. Yes. It's not about where I come from. It's about what the statutes, what the regulations say. I told the clubs, you must have registered by that time at least 15 players. And for them, they had 1. And I said the club is not ready to go and play among the giants of the country. The Archbishop of Uganda called me. Some lawyers from Mengo called me. Some politicians, MPs called my president. And the president was telling them, talk to Mr. Mulindwa, is in charge. And we agreed that Chetume will not play because they were not meeting the standards. Not because I didn't know them. If anything, I married from their area. And people are saying me, telling me now, we can even give you a second wife. So, following the statutes, the rules and regulations of the game is very, once you bend them, you administratively become weak. And somebody will judge you using that tomorrow and say, how comes you did it for so and so? Why can't you do it for me? But if you read the regulation, the same regulation will defend you tomorrow. So I want you to look at regulations, very key. In some parts of the country, we have started citing scanty cases of violence during our matches. And when you dig deep into the causes, you find some officials are also involved. Desist from this. As a football administrator, a leader, never and never be part of these chaotic scenes during our matches. It bends your integrity. If you are not doing it here, that's good. But in some other regions, we have seen this happening, and it's really very, very bad. The President sent me to thank you for your support towards the Uganda Cranes team. Thank you very much. There are people who traveled from Barara, from Western here, to come and watch Uganda beating Congo the 2-0. About, is it 2 weeks now? Asante sana. Thank you. This is your team. I was in South Africa when the President sent me to represent him as a leader of delegation. We almost pulled off a win against Bafana. Almost. So we don't have a weak team. And me, I have always told people when I lead delegations, and Ndugu Kalibala here knows that, me, I believe in prayers. I don't play football. I can't go and play for the Uganda Cranes. I don't coach it. But by the nature of my faith, I belong to the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I go to my God and say, Father, we come to you for this. I have never led the delegation and we lose for the national team. By God's grace, not because of my ability, but by God's grace. So when we were there, I asked God, give us a win. And I saw the win in the 90th minute was in our control. But when the referee put up 6 minutes of added time, then I stood out of my chair and went behind the president because I knew something was cooking. I could see something was cooking. And that's how we lost that win and it drew 2-2. But with your support, when the Bafana come to Kampala, I'm very sure we can beat them according to what we saw in Joburg. So at least with our 4 points now, having beaten Congo and drew with Bafana, we are in a good position. Continue praying for this team. Continue supporting the team. I know we can get back. Our dream as FUFU, which dream we also share with you, is that we must be in AFCON 2025 in Morocco as a rehearsal to AFCON 2027, which will be hosted by Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. It's our dream. It's the same dream the Kenyans have, the same dream the Tanzanians have. We are all saying we must fight and get there. Because you know the next AFCON, we shall not compete. So it's obvious we have to be there as hosts. But we must be in Morocco. And that's our dream as FUFU. Pray for us so that the president's dream is realized. Thank you. Of course, we are very grateful to the government. We needed 2-0. Well, we got the 2 goals. But it was like we are both playing away. We are playing Niger. In Morocco, Morocco can never be Uganda. You have no fans. But we got the 2 goals against Zero. Little did we know that miraculously Tanzania was to pull off a draw against Algeria in Algiers. That was a miracle. But it also happened. And we did not qualify. But at least we won our match. But now that we are back, because the problem was we had played other matches, they presumed, those you assumed were home matches were being played away. But now that Nambole is ready, government has pumped in 97 billion of Uganda shillings to make sure that Nambole is renovated to the standard as required by FIFA, the World Football Body. So we are grateful to the government. You are clapping to the government is doubtable. I don't know why. But by the way, I'm referring to the NRM government. We are very grateful to the NRM government. Yes. Oh, that's what you wanted. Okay. Because people were choosing, even the federation president, they would choose him. You know, you see, Uganda is playing away. This NRM government is doing nothing. The president himself is doing nothing. Now the Kenyans, they are hosting their matches in Uganda. Zimbabwe, all the way from there, they are hosting from Uganda. Now I was telling people, okay, what can you say now? The old man was planning for you are making Mudomo Mudomo. Now the stadium is ready. And we hope that in 2 years from now, even Hoima will be ready, because they have told us 17 months and the construction of Hoima has started. Because it is also a requirement by CAF that we must have another stadium. Hoima will be ready. Government has also earmarked some money that is going to work. I think, Kacheka, you are supposed to get that crucial turf here, right? Have they started? Yes, but some money was already allocated here. Masaka Recreation Ground, the one we call Uliku, money is going there. Mbale, money is going there. Akibwa Stadium in Lango, they are going to construct. I was in Kavale and I looked at that stadium in the municipality, where I found there is even a madman who sleeps somewhere there. I found a lot of used condoms in the corner of that house there. But I think the teachers had a sports day, something like that, teachers' colleges there. But that stadium, I'm also aware, it's one of those they're going to work on. So if we can have this, and as the FUFU, our wish and the legacy we want to leave after AFCON may not necessarily be winning AFCON. We may not win AFCON. We may not. If we can win it, the better. And the government is very supportive on that. Very, very, very supportive on that. So it's our prayer that that happens. Mr. Kaliba talked about Kadiba. Yes, we are now in the phase 2 of Kadiba. Kadiba, we went into negotiations with the Anglican Church of Uganda. They gave us land. The dressing rooms are ready. Some offices constructed. The terraces one side done. And we have now, we got another, some more money from FIFA, and we have acquired more land. But that land is swampy. The excavation and putting concrete has costed us a lot of money. But we are going to do the expansion so that stadium of Kadiba is going to look bigger, so that it can host like 20,000 people. Once it is done, we shall also have a relief. Therefore, when the CAF came and looked at all this, they confirmed that we should host CHAN. And CHAN is coming, because the other time it was not AFCON. AFCON is 2027, but next year, starting February 1st to February 28th, we shall be having the whole Africa in East Africa. Yes, they are going to come here. So we shall have an opportunity to host them and again rehearse how we shall be preparing for AFCON.
We have forgotten. Let us try to see how we can fight for football. Regional league clubs, 3 teams failed to register this season. And by the rules and regulations of FUFA, we have already written to the teams. The fixture is already out. They did not appear on the fixture. That is the 3rd Division League. So members, it is our duty, it is our responsibility, because we are the members that come to sit here to guide the clubs and the DFA chairpersons there to help them, to see that football lives. So I request you members, Ngutute Maman, Chairman DFAs, Ababa Shiza, let us not look at the other period when we need them most, when they need us, when we need them also. Let us get together and prepare for football. And as long as we prepare football, let us not forget the rules and regulations. Most of the members are complaining about the IDs. ID is a requirement. As a Ugandan, whenever you go, if you want to, even you want to buy a SIM card, last time I was buying a SIM card, you are required to present an ID, an original ID. So let us embrace on and helping the youth to see that they register, we acquire IDs, we register players on the system. Fourth division, it has been the most complicated one. So let us try to do that to see that we help football lives and progress. I love to thank you also that following the rules and regulations of the competitions, we have tried this season. Boardroom decisions, I think we are very, very, very few. Not much as many as it used to be. Because the other time, we are always accused of determining results sometimes. Office, sometimes they could write that competitions annual obuyamuhire points says here na Ankole, as if the office gives away points, but the competitions just consults the regulations and forward to the judicial bodies which decide the results or whatever that goes wrong in the game of football. So I request you to continue to see that football lives. Our delegates, before I will ask you to join me and thank the Federation. Mr. FUFU, we thank you for changing, with your executive, for changing the image of football in the country. Members, we are sitting here in peace. I remember time back before we came in office, 2009, I was the chairperson of Mbara DFA. Though I was following the proceedings, but I remember in the FUFU General Assembly budget, it used to have the item of security, the budget of FUFU, where it used to have to be guarded by security personnel. But nowadays, it is going to listen to the report, the achievements, and others that follow with no security. And Mr. FUFU, I report to you that the same applies to our meeting. You see how humble we are. We come to the meeting only to contribute to the report we give out and see that our football progresses. However, while we try to thank FUFU for doing all this and enlarging and introducing more football competitions I will urge you also to try and see that we introduce more competitions to see how we can help our community. Because if we introduce more football, we have the mass football to be introduced by FUFA. Konkani nyenda chibandizo witu. Kigezi, we are organizing the inter-district competitions. And we want to make it so well organized. The Kigezi inter-district competitions. We are trying to see how we can manage it with the rules. Babiri wanjirango tugenda tuzana omupira guhweraho. Tukunjiriyaza na kabare. Gwaba guri 0-0 tutere penalties rukunjiriye singi. Tutemwe kirabo. Rukunjiriya tore kirabo. Twaza kuriya the same. So that will help us to see that we bring people together. And we want to see that ntugwera abashiza on politics ezitukuzamo nabo batuombeke, because they use our football as a tool, and we have to be involved, fully managed, to see that we manage that competition, so that when they come up, but involving, they know that we are there, we are the managers of football. So I request you members to see that we get involved, to see that we help the community, the youth, our referees, our coaches, our managers, get an opportunity to see that we are fully involved in football. But as we organize that football, we should not forget the manager of football, Amateka Gomupira. Amateka Gompira, that is the tool to governance. If we forget that, I think we've been following the competition, the inter-districts in Ankole. Teams pulling out due to governance. So for us, since FUFA introduced the Pharmaco course, which is trying to guide us, as you well know that now it is a regulation to register a football club in the 3rd division, you must hold a Pharmaco 1 certificate. Your club doesn't have, Mr. FUFA. When it comes to your office, that there are complaints, we have dismissed a club, I request you that bear with us, be in a position to protect us as the office, because we need this football to be played and to have order.
And delegate at the same time. Our guest, chief guest, Mr. Molindwa Rogers, and the other title, the big man in NRM, spokesperson for NRM. You see, when they don't put on yellow, they put on blue. So you are in the right place. Dear delegates, Western Region, delegates FUFA, you are welcome. And the chairman has already mentioned the losses we made, but the Baganda say tefunafuna musika sebo akiikiridde president. Abantu beno baagala omusika kuba yatuulanga awo wotudde simanyi oba yegwe. So tefunafuna musika, but we are very thankful for what he did for the development of football. And at the same time, we want also to thank the president. You tell him that he visited us and he made sure he came to Kabale and Mbara. He met all these delegates. So we thank him for that, and also the equipment he gave us. My chairman, you see, is not well, but I think that was worth mentioning. He has mentioned Kachumu. Kachumu, actually, I was with Kachumu. I went and visited him first. As the chairman said, that's how he is exactly, but he said he's struggling to see that at least he gets people abakuza kumusitula omukanyu kanyu mukamanya eri waffe ekabira omulwadde bamutwaliranga mukanyu bakwata eno n'abeera waggulu naye waliwo omu yali musajja mukadde nga mugagga naye nga buli bamusitula agenda ava ku kyalo okuvisitinga one village ayinayo mukyala agende ku kyalo ekirala naye nga lutuukeyo nga abaagira embuzi naye yagambye nti afadhaali ajja kukola ki but he wants to be at least in Ankole in our next game. That's when we shall be playing South Sudan. Naye he needs your players, please. Your players can play a bigger part than even the drugs is getting. Okay? So play for Kachum. I want to, Mr. I want also to inform our members that our own Nabada officiated at the what? Olympics. So Nigiranti Mwena, that is our win for Western region. And she's also going for another Youth World Cup. Mr. President, or the representative of the President, we once again thank you, and we want to thank FUFU for the efforts the President put in to see that Ankole is finished. Can the government, even the government, we can actually put in a lot of money. And also, the President has put in a lot of efforts to see that Kadiba is finished at the right time, so that it can also be used during the joint Pamoja host of ACFON. So please help us, and also the effort he has put in to see that also Hoima Stadium is in place before the ACFON 2027. With that, I lastly request the members that drum is on door. Let us participate in drum. You people, to participating on drum, but drum is for us all. I actually thank those people who Chigezi who have done it. Kanisa ni to Ankole part tuongere tekemu amani tulebe nti drum is ours, and let this time 2024 be for us. Either it goes to Ankole or to Chigezi. With that, once again, I thank you, sir, for coming, and I thank the chairperson to see that at least, even if he's not feeling well, yet we say that he can have any tweet. With that, Chairman, I want to bring back the microphone to you.
Thanks so much, our senior. Before I broke off,